Hello and a very good morning from Skopje in North Macedonia, where the Hibs have arrived for our UEFA Conference League third qualifying round against KF Shkëndija. My name's Gavin Rittoo and you're listening to Good Morning from Skopje, our official Hibernian FC podcast that brings you a little bit closer to the action here on our travels. I'll quickly set the scene for you. We're currently sat outside the team hotel just on the outskirts of Skopje, and to preview this one I'm delighted to be joined by John Greechan from the Edinburgh Evening News and our supporter liaison officer Kieran Power, who's just picked up a dog and it's currently sitting on his lap. And he's got a new title of Head of Supporter Experience. KP, how are you?
I'm very good, very good. Enjoying the weather, enjoying the travel so far, Gavin.
And you made a new friend there?
Yep, I've just picked up Martin Boyle. Looks like a stray dog, but he's a very small puppy, and my girls will be wanting me to bring him home, so if Hibs win, I better come back and find him at this hotel and bring him home.
Brilliant stuff. John, how are you? How are you enjoying Skopje?
Good, yeah, we arrived Tuesday night, late-ish, so it's a really interesting city. It's got a great vibe to it, lots of history. They do love a statue.
Yes.
The unofficial slogan is there's more statues than people. And I think anyone who's ever lived here gets a statue.
Yeah, and so you came here on Tuesday. What have you been up to since then?
So Tuesday night, so we're very lucky, or very well planned, I might say, because I'm taking credit for it. Stay in a hotel literally right next to the stadium. It's a 15-yard walk from our front door to the entrance we have to go in tonight. So, we got in. It's again a 15-minute walk along the river. Went in, had something to eat. It was a bit late at night, and then yesterday went and did some real sightseeing before the Shkëndija press conference and the Hibs press conference. Went and did some sightseeing. There's some, it's like Pristina was nice in that it really lovely people and everything, but it wasn't a bonny city to go and look. Whereas here, the bazaar and everything, Macedonia Square and that, and the million statues. The stone bridge is amazing. I was showing you a video earlier of that. The stone bridge with the statues on either side. Just like it's got a real kind of classical feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. KP, you've been doing as much sightseeing as John?
Not as much as John, but it's a compact city, and just as John said, it's really sort of scenic. It's very sort of appealing to walk around from the short walk that I've had to do from my hotel to here, so I'm enjoying the sightseeing at the minute, so yeah, really lovely.
And you were out yesterday with supporters, making sure they were well looked after on Wednesday night?
Yeah, so we've got a number of options here in Skopje with regards to bars and restaurants, but the supporters have been advised to stay in the city centre, and there's an Irish bar because that's stereotypically what Scottish people do when they go abroad. They look for the first Irish or Scottish bar, and there's a bar called St Patrick's that there was about 150 Hibs supporters in last night having a great time, taking advantage of the Skopje beer, which was roughly £2 to £3, which is amazing.
Nice.
4.5%, great beer.
Other beers are available as well.
There is, yes.
In terms of today then, what's the plan for sports? What's the kind of key information that they should know?
So the key information for today is we've recommended the free bars that they go to because they've been welcoming Hibs fans. So that's the Nano Bar, that's the Bad Donkey and St Patrick's. St Patrick's the main one because it's on the River Vardar and that is on the route to the stadium. The local authorities have asked that supporters congregate at that bar from 5:30 onwards because then it's an easy route to the stadium and they're going to walk us and fan march us from 5:30 to the stadium. It's roughly about a 20-minute walk and turnstiles are open an hour before kick-off. So it's get yourself to St Patrick's Bar from 5:30 because we're going to be marched by the local police. Not that I don't think there's anything untowards from any locals, but they just want us all there in a one from the bar to the stadium.
Nice one. And it's about, how many Hibs fans are we expecting this evening?
So as of Tuesday evening we had sold just under 300 tickets. I think that might pick up as supporters get into the city and that haven't purchased yet. I'm expecting about 350 to 400 Hibs fans that have made the journey from different places. Speaking to them last night, some have come from Prague, some Brussels, some Amsterdam, some Pristina, some Tirana. Hibs fans will travel from all places to support their team, which is great to see.
Yeah, definitely. And we made it to the stadium yesterday. David Gray and the coaching staff put the players through their paces, getting used to the surroundings at the Todor Proski National Arena. John, obviously the stadium, it's the national team's stadium for North Macedonia, but it's not actually where Shkëndija normally play and train. They're about 45 kilometres east of the city. Well, do you think that will have a bearing on tonight in terms of it's not actually their home ground and the atmosphere as well?
Yeah, bizarrely, it's not their home ground, but they are incredibly familiar with it. And there's an irony here because They play all their European games there because their own ground isn't up to scratch. It is the home of Vardar, who are their huge rivals.
And I mean, played at the weekend as well.
They just played them and beat them 2-0 at the weekend. So I was chatting to some of the guys at the team yesterday. They're actually staying in our hotel as well, and they were saying it's given us a real advantage when we play them in these. Like, imagine you were playing. It's never going to happen. All your away game, all your European games at Tynecastle. When you went to play Hearts at Tynecastle, you'd know the place inside out. There'd be nothing, you'd feel so. It said we feel really comfortable in these domestic games now. We go there and beat them regularly because it's our home away from home. Because remember, they made it all the way through to the league stages last year.
Yep.
So I don't know what, in terms of fans, they've been a bit cagey about it. I think they're just a bit uncertain. For the last tie, they gave away free tickets to locals just to boost the crowd, because it's a huge stadium, and I still think about 5,000. And to be honest, when I spoke to people at the club, they said the Conference League just doesn't hit it for them, for their fans. They like the local stuff, they like the local rivalry, and then they've had cracks at the Champions League qualifiers. They get excited about that. It's terrible to say. They look at the Conference League and go, not really that interested in it. So I'm not sure what kind of crowd it's going to be. Also, be warned, it's supposed to be incredibly hot in the stadium. Regardless of what your weather app is telling you. The guys have told us, said it feels like an extra 4 or 5 degrees at least. There's not really any air. It's incredible, no cover. You're just out there.
Yeah, I was going to mention that about dealing with the heat, because I think it's, in terms of normal temperatures here in North Macedonia, it's probably 4 or 5 above what is the average. From a supporter point of view, I'll come to you first, KP. What are kind of key messages to supporters in dealing with the heat and making sure that they stay safe? Yeah,
but staying hydrated, don't spend too long in the sun, just the standard kind of messaging that you would expect, especially in this heat. So it's very muggy, it's not a dry heat, so it's making sure you stay hydrated and not too long in the sun. That is going to be Hibs' biggest opponent tonight. It's going to be the weather. I don't think it's, with all due respect, it's the opponents that we're playing. It's actually dealing with the weather and the temperature here. It's going to be really muggy, as John says, at kick-off time, which is going to be our biggest challenge. It's going to affect players differently. It's going to really hurt in places that they don't maybe appreciate. So yeah, let's just see how they get on with that.
Yeah, what do you think, John? How much of an impact do you think that the temperatures and the weather is going to play this evening?
KP's right there. I think for players, we talked to Jamie McGrath about it last night, and he remembers going over to Larnaca with Dundalk as a young player. He says they've won the first leg, or they're in control anyway, and they go over there thinking, all right, here we go, 3-0 down within half an hour. Yeah. It's just like, you can't move, you can't feel, just everything's going. So you learn to slow things down. They're going to have to. It's hot for Shkëndija as well. It's a little bit hotter than they're used to as well. They were really upset that they had to play their game on Sunday against Vardar at 5 p.m. The coach was still going on about it yesterday. He says, I'm sitting here today and I still don't understand how we had to play that game at 5 p.m. It was brutal out there. So they'll be glad it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. I mean, it is going to cool down a bit as the game goes on, but you've been here, you were here last night, it doesn't really get that cool. Interesting to see what the sports science guys have got. You were going to tell me everything about all the sports science guys. You never did. all the plans they've got with cooling towels and ice hats or whatever it is they've got to keep them all cool.
Yeah, definitely. And let's talk about the game itself. First leg, obviously, we've got the slender advantage. Warren O'Hora's late goal has given us something to protect here. Do you think that will be enough? Do you think that David Gray and the players will go in thinking a draw is going to be enough and play for that? Or do you think it's about we need to take the game to them and play to win?
It's impossible to play for a draw in football. It just genuinely is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're right.
You're a sitting duck waiting for the inevitable to happen, aren't you?
And the one concern I would also have about that is Hibs haven't kept a clean sheet this season. There's 5 games in, no clean sheets yet. Now you can say one might have been unlucky in this one or unlucky in that one, whatever it is. I think that plays a little bit at the back of the mind if you're a fan out here going, well, we're not going to get a 0-0, we need to score.
I agree with that, we need to score, but the scoreline should be a boost for Hibs in the sense that it'll play into their game plan really well, that we're a good counter-attacking team, as we've seen at Ibrox at the weekend, so Hibs should hopefully have enough to hit them on the counter. They need to score 1, potentially 2 to go through, I believe.
Their coach mentioned that yesterday. He said Hibs in transition. He said watched them obviously and played them. He said we need to be so wary of that. We always joke about it on these foreign trips. We've got decades of foreign coaches saying, roughly, we fear the Scots, they fight like lions. It's our cliche of every foreign coach who's ever played any Scottish team. But he said, we just know from, regardless of what the weather is, regardless of how it is, we're going to have to fight for every ball and every inch of the park. And we take that for granted as fans of Scottish football. We just take that for granted, and it's not like that in every country. And we just assume, you know, run through brick wall, but everyone does that. No, they don't.
No, they don't. That's right. You see the Italian league obviously loving Scottish players at the minute, for that reason they will go for a brick wall for that.
And you cannot survive in the Scottish Premiership unless you have that attitude and mentality. So that will be huge tonight, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned that the win at Ibrox, obviously the third time we've done it under the manager in 3 consecutive years, the first time in our history that we've done that. How important was that victory in terms of bringing that momentum, confidence and feel-good factor into both the supporters and the players as well?
Yeah, remarkable, isn't it? I mean, the things, they just keep ticking off these boxes with these historic achievements. And KP, you spend a lot of time with fans as well. There's inevitably a little bit of fatigue comes in with, you know, oh, I'm not sure about this and I'm not sure about that. Oh, people start grumbling, and particularly, I mean, you know, we were in Pristina, that was horrible. But I've seen enough of those games over the decades of Scottish teams going into Europe in the very first competitive game of the season. And stink. No, it doesn't matter how much prep you do, you're just not ready. You just stink the place up. I was there in Gibraltar, Lincoln Red Imps beat Celtic, and it wasn't even close. It wasn't like a smash and grab. They battered Celtic, and then Celtic murdered them in the second leg. So these things happen, but you can get, you know, you're out there with the fans. It's almost like a, right, come on then, show us what you've got. Constantly at the moment, no matter what is done. So
I agree with that.
Yeah, and it's hugely important.
Yeah, to have a statement win so early in the season, I think it gives people comfort going, look, this is a good Hibs team, and on their day they can beat anybody. But that's what we're needing to strive for, that consistency going. I don't want to do it one week and then drop the next week and then back up again, and that roller coaster that tends to happen with Hibs. I need us to do it week in, week out. So it's like very good winning at Ibrox, great. I need you to do it again on Thursday, and I need you to do it again on Sunday, and I need you to do it next week. That's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah, that's hard, but that's the expectation. If we do get through tonight, it'll be our third time in the playoff round in the last 4 years, and obviously you don't want to look too far ahead, but would you be having, in terms of a supporter point of view, do you think the fans will be having one eye on the game also in Belgium, who are obviously up against Gothenburg?
You can give supporters all the advice going, please wait for the match to be scheduled, and fixtures are subject to change, but supporters don't behave like that. You've got plenty of people that are already booking up for Belgium already, and we're not even guaranteed to be there, nor guaranteed to be the opponents, but that's supporter habits. I think supporters do have one eye on the next round, because either location is going to be easier to travel to than Kosovo or North Macedonia, and I hope that we are there for them. I believe that we will be.
Just finally then, because I know that you guys both got busy schedules ahead, in terms of team news, the manager made 4 changes going to Ibrox, obviously a bit of squad rotation, but then those players came in and did so well in beating Rangers. How do you see it going today in terms of personnel, squad selection, and obviously welcoming back the likes of Jamie McGrath, who got minutes for the first time this season at Ibrox? It's a good problem to have, but it's a tough one.
Are you asking for a predicted 11? I hate predicted 11. I hate that. Let us know, like some obvious ones. I think Felix just comes back in because you don't have a guy with his massive European experience to leave him out, though Kanai did really well. Like all 4 guys that came in did really, really well. Like Josh Campbell was excellent, apart from the goal. Just his pressing and being smart and clever. And Thibault wasn't magnificent, but he brought a kind of verticality to it and a stretch and all that stuff. So I think he'll go back to something a little bit more familiar, but I would put Jamie McGrath in every time. If Jamie McGrath's fit, he plays in every game I'm ever picking a team for, just because he's a smart footballer.
Yeah, he can change the game for you, he can win the game for you, and he's probably one of the only players that can do that in that number 10 role or just off the front, so he's your match winner. For me, I agree that the team picks itself. It's only, is Jamie McGrath in there, or is he off the bench, and does Josh Campbell retain his place because of his physique and his pressing ability? Other than that, the Hibs team does pick itself, but there is a few dilemmas for the manager to think about.
Yeah, one of those would be surely Callum Wright. He'll be knocking on the door. He came on, got an assist, and then obviously scored the winner at Ibrox. He'd be knocking on the door.
When you look back to like 10 days ago and considered how different it was, and it was a struggle, and Hibs are lacking creativity, and can't break team, and you're looking at it now going, you got Wright, you got McGrath. Elding still, I think, just the best young player in the league by a distance
agree with
in terms of his brain and everything and what he does. That second goal at Ibrox come from Owen Elding holding on the ball and making the right pass for the break instead of just shelling it out of the park. So someone like him and McGrath together, listen, there's great options there. Great options. Even like Antti Suto, I thought was really good on Sunday. Brings a bit of Rajness to things on that right side, doesn't he? Proper Embry word, that one.
I don't know you don't like doing predictions, John, particularly. But if I was going to press you for a score prediction, both of you, John, KP, what would you go with?
Let's go with the stereotypical 2-1 Hibs.
2-1 Hibs. I knew you were going to say that. John?
5 each.
But yeah.
I always do that.
You can't be wrong with that. Spot on. And in terms of the rest of your day, what does it look like, guys? KP, I imagine you'll be with supporters.
So back to the hotel, freshen up, and then go meet supporters and making sure that they're all right, making sure that message of being hydrated and not in the sun too long is adhered to, and making sure that they understand where they need to be for getting to the stadium. So it's really just checking in, and if they need anything from me, I'll be available with the travel stewards and a pink high-vis and available at all times. So pretty much servicing supporters with any questions that they have.
And a few Skops go in there as well?
I will have 2 as my maximum before the game, and after the game I might do an anti-Suto and go Raj.
And John, what does it look like from a press and journalist point of view? How does your day look?
These days are always incredibly long, and I don't want anyone getting out the world's tiniest violin. Just because you're working so late after the game, it just becomes this mad working late and then getting up for a flight. So like last year, both in Belgrade and Warsaw, literally didn't sleep after the game because we were just like back to the hotel and was like, well, we've got work to do. Just going to sit and work until it was time to get in a taxi to the airport. It's a little bit more civilised here, hopefully, as long as we avoid the dreaded, I'm not going to say the words, as long as it's over in the 90 minutes. I'm not going to say the other thing. Of course I've got some video stuff to do, and then I'm going to ignore KP's advice and go and look at flights for Ghent or Brussels and just have I've got to have something sent into the office to say, if it goes, book it now because it's Tuesday. You can't leave it until Monday to try and sort this out.
Well, fingers crossed we will be having that dilemma. Right, I'll let you both go and enjoy the rest of your day, but once again, thank you for joining on Good Morning from Skopje, and have a brilliant day.
Excellent, thanks so much, Gav.
Thanks.